Welcome and bienvenidos to episode 11 of the It's Talk Time podcast. Today's episode is called Women in STEM. My name is Jesus Morales, and today is Friday, October 28th. Only 3 more days until Halloween, and yes, of course, it has to fall in the school day. So I'm wishing all of our educators the best on that day. This entire week has been filled with red ribbon and drug awareness activities throughout all schools in El Paso and also in the surrounding area. I want to give a big shout out to all of the teachers and staff that work so hard to educate and guide our students on the importance of always keeping our mind and body healthy. This week, we also celebrate United Nations Day, World Pasta Day, National Pumpkin Day, and today, ladies and gentlemen, is National Chocolat Day. This week is just full of cravings. I don't know about you, but I love chocolate.
My favorite, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's an excuse to get some chocolate today.
There you go, whether it's the candy or the hot stuff, right? All right, tomorrow is National Internet Day, which actually I feel like every day is National Internet Day. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel. And since we're here and we're on the internet, with me today are 4 of our amazing I.T.S ladies who will introduce themselves, starting with Karen.
Hi. Well, 3 cheers for National Chocolate Day. I'm excited to have a little bit today. My name is Karen Belbier. I'm an instructional technology specialist. I'm a mom of a couple kiddos here in EPISD and a lifelong learner. Nice to be with you guys today.
Hi, this is Julie Rivas. I'm also an instructional technology specialist. And after last week's event, I can say that I'm your resident dancer coder.
Haha, yes, Julie, you definitely are. This is Laura Salazar. I'm also an I.T.S here in EPISD. I'm super excited about National Chocolate Day. I didn't know there was such a thing. I also did not know there was National Internet Day. And since I spend a lot of my time on the internet, I'm excited about that too. And I'm excited about our episode today about talking about women in STEM. I'm excited about our visitors that we have here with us. So I will hand it over to Sharita.
Thank you, Laura. My name is Sheree Martin, and I am an instructional technology specialist serving pre-K, 12th grade, Urban Feeder Pattern, Young Women's Academy, and homebound teachers. And I am excited about this podcast that we have today.
Thank you so much, ladies, for taking part in this very, very special show. With us, we also have 4 distinguished guests. First, we have Kimberly Wright, who is a STEM instructional designer, keynote speaker, trainer, and coach. She is the winner of the Million Women Mentors Trailblazer Award. I keep wanting to say $1 million, but if it was that, she probably wouldn't be here. Her work within STEM, for her work within STEM education, she was also a longtime educator right here in EPISD. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Hey, Jesus. Thanks so much. And I mean, I wish it was $1 million, but I also know that even if it was $1 million, I would definitely still be here because there is so much work that we have to do in the field of STEM, especially in education, to get our kids into those STEM career fields. Super excited to be here on World Pasta, Chocolate, Internet, and All the Things Day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim, for being here. With us, we also have Dr. Cynthia Ontiveros, who is also a longtime EPISD educator and is the principal of the Young Women's STEAM Research and Preparatory Academy at EPISD. I didn't know this. Sharita mentioned this. She let me know. Dr. Ontiveros is the co-author of the book, Copper Stain, A Sarco's Legacy in El Paso, which tells the story of the co-workers from the now defunct Sarco smelter in El Paso. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Ontiveros.
Jesus, I think she dropped off because I think she was probably going around her campus right now because there's a lot of things going on in that campus, and she might try to jump back on in a little bit.
All right. And who doesn't know this song? All the way from UTEP Minor Nation, we have Dr. Diane Golding, who is an assistant professor of instruction and a fellow for the Center for Faculty Leadership at the University of Texas at El Paso. She is also the director of the Yes She Can program, which we are all interested in hearing more about. Picks up, and welcome to the show, Dr. Golding.
Thank you so much, and go Miners. So I'm really thrilled to be here with you all today, and I'm excited to talk about, how we can encourage our girls and women in STEM, and I'm looking forward to the sharing. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. And our final host today is Veronica Montes. She is also a longtime EPISD educator who currently serves in the Curriculum and Instruction Literacy team as an elementary integrated literacy and social studies facilitator. She is also a mother of two beautiful young ladies, one of which had the opportunity to participate in the Girl Powered event held at Franklin High School last Friday. We definitely want to talk to you about yours and your daughter's experience at this event. Thank you for being here with us, Veronica.
Well, I'm happy to be here and excited to share our experiences, both my daughter and I's experience at that event, because it was quite wonderful. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. So last week we had over 250 girls attend the Girl Powered event here at EPISD. This event was put together by Mr. Daniel Quiñones, who is the technology education teacher at Franklin High School, and Mr. Fernando Marquez, who is the director of the Career and Technical Education Department at EPISD. Our team was honored to be invited to this event, and I know that Karen, Julie, and Laura had a lot of fun, and they did an amazing job introducing the story of Miral, who's a dancer and software developer that uses two passions in her career. The students learned about the events, creating loops and algorithms in an unplugged programming glow party, and they also had fun maneuvering robots and drones. So I'd like to get this conversation started with Julie and her special guest who will share her personal experience during this event. Julie?
Yeah, so I had a really fun time last week introducing these girls to coding through dance and algorithms. And I know that we did have a few guests from our district also join us, and Veronica was one of those. And so that last Friday afternoon, she and I did have a little bit of a conversation, and she was sharing about her experience also, about attending as a mom and knowing that her daughter got to attend too. So Veronica, do you want to go ahead and share a little bit of what we had talked about last week?
Yes. So I was lucky enough to go in and see what this was all about. And I was very, very happy that, EPISD was putting this event, having girls from all over the district and having them see and experience different fields in STEM. And one of the things we were talking about was that it was for girls, like we don't ever have an event like that before. And I was so excited that we had it because, I wish I would have had such an event when I was growing up and going to school. And I was so excited that my daughter got to go and experience it. And there was just so many things to experience, to learn, to see from. And so I got to join in the dance coding class that Julie provided. It was a lot of fun. It really opened up my eyes, and I got to see that it would open up the eyes for girls to see the creative arts. If you are somebody who is into the creative arts, you can definitely also do STEM. Like I never even thought of that possibility before, right?
Yeah,
And so
that was one of the
things
things that you had mentioned.
yeah, it's so like, because my daughter loves art, but she's like, well, I don't know what to do if I'm going to do art. How does that translate into STEM? How does that work with computers? And so I think this gave her a great opportunity for her to see that you definitely can combine both. And I asked her, well, what did you think about this event? And one of the things that she mentioned was, she mentioned two things that she liked the most. Actually, there was three, but the first two most important. The first one was she got to see many different fields in STEM that she was not aware of. That's one of the things that she said. There was so many different things that I didn't know that were possible, that existed. She was like, there was the robotics, there was the drones, there was, the coding with dancing, the civil engineering booth that had all the things there too, that she got to learn about what a civil engineer does that she had never heard about. And she really liked that. She's like, I didn't know there was so much. So she got exposed to a big variety. And then the other thing she really liked, she said that the people, the kids, or anybody who was helping in all these presenting in all these different areas were so friendly and so excited about sharing their knowledge about their area. And so she really liked that. as well. And number 3, she loved that there was candy there as well.
That is the most important thing at any event, is some kind of snack or goodie.
Yes,
You
definitely.
gave me goosebumps, Veronica. Just so you know, just hearing that feedback and how your daughter felt just gave me goosebumps.
Oh, I'm so glad, because you know what? Me too. I was so happy. We have been having these conversations where she is unsure of what field, where even to begin. And this gave her an opportunity to start thinking about different possibilities. So I was very, very happy that we had this event.
There's so many different jobs and positions that are out there that we're not aware of that do tie a lot of the science and math. And obviously, technology is not going anywhere. It's going to be around with us for a very long time. So it ties all of that together. And, I didn't know what I think it's a UIX designer was. It's some, there's things like that we don't know about, jobs that we don't know about that have to do with how people view and see the things that we interact with every day as far as programs and websites and stuff like that. And, those are jobs that we aren't aware of what the acronyms stand for. Or, we don't know what is, like you mentioned a lot about the civil engineering and the examples of how they reposition things and add new things to replace natural wetlands. I know that's what you were talking about, but there's a lot of positions that we are not fully aware of that do incorporate all of these things that our girls could be interested in or could bring their creativity in. And I know that's what I appreciated about the conversation that you and I had last week.
Yes, definitely, because I didn't even know. I was so excited about that civil engineering piece that they were showing. Like, if you take off a wetland, what do you need to put in its place to absorb the water, right? So that it doesn't flood the community next to it. I was like I was thrilled. I texted her while I was there. I was like, make sure you go to that area and find out all about it, because I was like, it deals with the environment. It's so much more than I that I even knew. I know we talked about it, Julie, and I said maybe in another lifetime I would have loved to have done that. And I think that's part of the great part of this event, is that you get to see and learn much more about all these different career opportunities that you've never even know. I know that my daughter and I had a whole conversation about, just like you and I did, Julie, about that whole civil engineer in the water table that they had there.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of those things we aren't aware of unless we're exposed to them. So I really appreciate you sharing your feedback, obviously as a mom and a parent of a daughter here with an EPISD. And I hope that you will, encourage your daughter to go into one of those fields. And then maybe after today's podcast, after listening to our other presenters, you will have more conversations with your daughter as well.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Sharita, who will introduce us to Miss Cynthia Ontiveros.
Thank you, Julie. And thank you, Dr. O, for taking this pause in your day. I know it is a tremendous amount of things going on your campus right now, but we really, really appreciate you joining us in this podcast to share some of those amazing things that are going on at the Young Women's. And before we get started, I'd like to take this time, because I just read this awesome news this morning. A huge congratulations to you for being named District 9 Trans Pecos Association of Student Councils Administrator of the Year. So congratulations, Dr. O.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Sharita.
Wow, congratulations. Woo.
Woo!
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'd like for you, if you don't mind, there's so many different groups and organizations that you have there at the Young Women's. But could you just share with us a little bit about that amazing drum line that you guys have? I got the opportunity to hear them at that volleyball game on
Oh my
Tuesday.
goodness,
By the way,
yes.
another congrats for making it. Yes. So could you share that, how it got started and what events they play for?
Yes. So Mr. Theron, Mark Theron, he's my assistant principal.
Last year we were brainstorming about, just ideas for recruitment, for retainment, for just, creating an environment for our students. So since we're an all-girls school, some of the girls, we want to make sure that they're not losing out on any events or any activities or just the whole high school experience. So in our brainstorm, he talked about he used to play drums. He was actually a drummer when he went to Bowie High School and at UTEP. And so he says, Dr. O, do you mind if I start a drum line? And of course, right? My answer to almost everything is yes. And I said, absolutely. So he put it out there, and I think he was able to get about 12 girls, maybe a little more, but that's what we started with. And some of the girls, only two of the 12 knew how to play. The rest, they were brand new. So he got them started, showing them how to read music, showing them how to play the different percussion instruments. And now year 2, we're at 36 girls. 36 girls. So that has tripled. And one day the girls were outside practicing, and we allow Cathedral High School to come practice on our football field. And the master asked the coach, "Hey, you guys have a band or not?" So
Dr. O, can you hear me? I think, well, we can hear you right now. I don't know if you dropped but just text me if you can hear me, and I'll check my text.
I'm so excited about this story. I hope she's able to join us again. I'm really excited about what's going on over there.
I know. I was wondering,
Yeah.
did they merge? Did they
Yeah.
start working together?
No, well, I'm not sure if she will be able to pick back up, but I know a little bit about that story, so I'm going to just pick up from where she left off. Like she said, they started with about 12. They have over 30 girls right now. Only about 2 were able to play. They sound awesome. I heard them on Tuesday night in the gym at that playoff game between Young Women's and Irvin. So I was neutral. I wore a peach color so that nobody would think I was pulling for the other one. But at any rate, they get to go out and they play for Cathedral at the football game. So they have that Friday night light experience, and they are really, really good. And no one would probably believe that they just started really playing. So that's the story of her drum line. But I really hope that she jumps back in. Maybe somebody can send her another invite, because I have one more question pertaining to her first graduating class.
I do have to ask a question in case someone's jumping in and isn't from the El Paso area. So Cathedral, are they an all-boys school?
They are.
So that is pretty neat that our Young Women's Academy drumline is playing for the Cathedral High School events. I am so impressed by that. That's great.
Yes. And they have also, I believe, played at other events or been invited.
I'd just like to share that I've had the privilege of working with Dr. O recently, and her school is the first school where we have a Yes She Can organization that is geared towards encouraging and motivating our girls into STEM. So she really is. I mean, that award that she's won is so well deserved. She's definitely she's got vision, and she's really pushing or helping girls to think about a career in STEM. And I think you all have hit upon a really important note, and that is exposure. So Veronica, you mentioned that, and Julie too. That if our girls can see it, and if they can see themselves, people who look like them. So our brown and black girls are the ones that really they're the least represented in STEM in terms of women who choose careers in STEM. So if we can show them what's possible, that it's going to make such a difference. And now I'll be quiet because maybe Dr. O can speak now.
I think she might have to leave the podcast and get another invite sent and jump back in a little bit later, because I really would like to hear her speak to us about the graduating class and how the STEAM program is encouraging those girls to continue in the profession with the in STEM. Okay, so I'm going to toss it over to you, Laura, for right now, and we'll go get back to Dr. O.
Yeah, well, actually, Diane, what you were just saying is a perfect segue into my introduction of you. I'm super excited that you're here with us today. So, Diane Golding and I used to be teachers together, elementary school teachers together, in the dual language program over at Mesita Elementary, and now she is off to great things here at UTEP. And so, Diane, I'm really interested in having you tell us a little bit about what you do with the Yes She Can program at UTEP and just what you are all about. Would you be able to just give us a little bit of an introduction to what you all are up to over there?
Yes, I would love to do that. So the Yes She Can program is an initiative that began in October of 2019. And we kind of the focus of that is exactly what I was saying about earlier about encouraging and motivating women and other minorities into STEAM or STEM careers. And that means showing them the possibilities and for our girls to be able to see themselves in those positions. I have an experience of one of the students that I've worked with for about the last 2 years, and she is, I believe, a psychology major with a minor in biology. So she's, got a little bit of STEM in there. She has her reasoning for it, and it's, very wonderful reasoning. But as we started, offering what we call Tea Talks and just introducing different types of engineering to our students, she was introduced to a marketing engineer, and she recently said to us that had she known about what a marketing engineer is, she might have changed her degree, to go into engineering. And so, it's really interesting that even a student who, is pretty sure about where she wants to go, exposed to something in STEAM, realizes that maybe that's something that she might like to do down the line. So I think that's such an important piece to the work that we do, is bringing what engineering can look like, what STEM can look like. And there's so many different types of careers that you can go into. So that's the work that we're doing, Laura, at UTEP. We're just trying to bring exposure, to our students so that they can consider a career in STEAM. And oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's such important and wonderful work that you are up to there.
Thank you. I can get too talkative and too enthusiastic about it, so I apologize.
No, it's great. You've had involvement both in in higher education now and also in the K-12 classrooms. If you were to give all of us some advice who are here in EPISD about how we can continue to encourage girls who are in the K-12 classrooms to pursue careers in STEM, what kind of advice would you give us? We had this event last week here in EPISD, the Girl Powered event, to try to sort of expose our girls to some of these different careers. But how would you kind of, advise us to continue to encourage our girls in this direction?
I think it's just that. It's encouraging our girls because they're all very capable. And we know research tells us that all of our students, are capable of participating in STEM and STEAM activities. But for some reason, our girls lose confidence in their math and science skills. And so we kind of can keep a lookout and make sure that if some of our girl students are not feeling confident about their skills, or if they're not doing well, maybe they just need a little bit of extra support, that we provide that. But it's not just that. It's also kind of saying, hey, you know what? Let's design some STEAM activities into your curriculum. And I know that teachers do that because I remember we did it, Laura. So if we can continue that work.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. If we can just continue that work and just, saying you can do it, it's so important because teachers, believe it or not, have you all do believe it because we know we have a great influence on our students. And we are the motivators in some cases, the biggest motivators for our students to succeed. So
that would be my advice, is to keep up what you're doing in the classroom in terms of STEAM education and activities, and just keep encouraging our girls, to telling them they can do it, because yes, she can do it. I just want to tell you all that at UTEP we have a makerspace. It's called Gaia, and it's open to the public. So I'd encourage you, if I can send you the information about it, but right now it's open from 8 to 10 p.m. on weekdays. I think they're considering opening it on Saturdays as well, but it's a great place just to learn about making things. So anyway, I'll try to be quiet.
Field trip
time.
I was thinking the same thing. We need an I.T.S. field trip. I also wonder, Diane, is that makerspace available for campuses to bring groups of children for field trips as well during the day?
Absolutely. Yes. I will give you that. The person, his name is Hector Lugo, and I will send you all his contact information. As a matter of fact, I may have it here. Oh, no, it's on my phone. Sorry. I don't want to do anything. I'm scared to move anything on my phone.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put that on our website so that we have that information up there too. Well,
That'd
we
be great.
appreciate that. That's such a great connection for our teachers also, and we'll put that information up there for everybody, and maybe, guys, we can take a field trip over to UTEP one of these days. Well,
let me know.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Diane. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Karen now, and she's going to introduce our friend Kimberly to us.
Yes, I am happy to do that, but I do want to just thank you for your enthusiasm and all that you're doing in the area of STEM, Diane. It's just so exciting. All right. Well, welcome, Kimberly. First, I just want to thank you for your voice and advocacy for our students. I know that you've been a part of some necessary conversations that lead to change in education. And I just get really excited about the conversations that we have. And so, of course, I wanted to invite you because I know you have a role in STEM education. So, questions for you. Will you tell us a little bit about your role in STEM education, and what opportunities or resources do you know of that we can share with our listeners that could support our students and just help them make the connections to STEM opportunities?
Yeah, super, super excited to be here with others that are as passionate as I am. So thanks for the invite. So I'm thankful to have the opportunity to work with nonprofit organizations and corporations that really allow us to connect curriculum to STEM careers. So, like Veronica and Diane have said already, like kids are just unaware of the amazing career possibilities, right? Especially our girls. And Diane nailed it when she said our kids have got to see it to believe it. So even me as a Korean American woman, when I was teaching science in EPISD, and I would tell the girls that they could be scientists as well, they didn't see themselves in me. They had to see someone who looked like them. So we would watch virtual field trips through Discovery Education, and they would see people on the screen who looked like them, that were engineers. And then for some reason, it clicked. They saw that they had those possibilities, right? And the beauty really comes when not only are we connecting those students to careers, but we're also creating that curriculum that is already taught in our classroom and connecting students beyond the classroom to those diverse careers, STEM careers, and those diverse people who really are out there in the world solving problems. And I think when we have the opportunity to make connections between curriculum and those careers, we give students the opportunity to see the why. As we all know, I think we're all borderland residents. Growing up here in the borderland, we're all limited to the careers that we're exposed to, right? And it really is all of our collective jobs to give students the opportunity to see what they can be, even the careers that aren't here in the borderland right now. So I really think that, I feel that we need to empower our students, especially here in El Paso, our girls, in particular, to look at our community and consider how can they address or find solutions to issues impacting the lives here in their lives here in the borderland. And so, recently I helped create curriculum around health equity that will be launching soon. So I'll share more later. That really asks students around to address issues around health literacy, the social determinants of health, and health equity. And the question really that we want our students to ask is, well, all of us to ask is, how do we empower our students to begin problem solving the future now? Like, I know Dr. Ontiveros is very much in her school asking her students to consider, how do we solve problems now in our community? So how do we do that across EPISD, not just at the Young Women's Academy? So you asked, where is it that teachers can find some resources that give students the opportunity to see these STEM careers in action, and that really drives this community action, which Veronica and Diane very much said, let's connect our curriculum to careers. So where do we find this? So all of our teachers within EPISD, they all have access to discovery education. And, I know most of our teachers, being a former science teacher, they hear discovery and they think, oh, science videos. But regardless of the subject matter that you really teach, that content area, I just encourage you to dive in. And, when people hear STEM, they also just think science. They don't recognize the fact that STEM really is everywhere. We can connect it to everything we do. So within DEX, or also called Discovery Education Experience, educators can find some really incredible partnerships, and I can only talk about a couple because I don't have a ton of time, like Working in Harmony, which is a partnership through the Country Music Association. And this partnership takes students behind the scenes of country music and showcases the diverse careers that are beyond the stage, not just on the stage. So the beauty of this program, so we've talked about STEM careers, right? But what about those non-traditional career paths? We always tell our kids college, 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 but sometimes that isn't always the answer for all of our students. So we also have to tell them about those careers that are those non-traditional career paths. So Working in Harmony highlights career paths in lighting, sound, marketing, and teachers have the opportunity to access student activities, career videos, parent activities, and even some digital lessons that teachers can directly assign. And coming soon through that partnership, we will have a virtual field trip to the CMA Awards, and students will have the opportunity to see, like, how is it that we put an awards show together? So yeah, we watch TV, we consume it, but what do those jobs behind it look like? And Karen, do I have more time to talk about one more partnership that
Do
teachers? Okay.
it.
I'm gonna talk fast. So another exciting program I encourage teachers and students to check out is 3M Young Scientist Lab. This is another partnership with Discovery Education that allows our students grades 5 through 8 the opportunity to become America's top young scientist. And if students win and become America's top young scientist, they actually win up to a $25,000 scholarship. And as somebody who just put their child through the UT system, $25,000 does go a long way if you're in Texas. So this challenge really asks students, how is it that you can improve lives for the future? So, I was saying, let's not tell our students they have to wait until they have a college degree or career degree and a career to solve community problems. Let's ask them to consider that now. So that's what this challenge does. And basically what students do is they submit a video with just an idea and what their solution might be to a community problem, or how is it that they could improve lives for the future. And they submit their video, and if they're announced as a finalist, they actually get a mentorship with a 3M scientist that helps them develop their solution. So this challenge is about to open up in December. It runs through May. So there's plenty of time for teachers to access the resources that are within the Young Scientist Lab website. And it's also within Discovery Experience or DEX and it really just encourages our students to really consider how do we make our community and our world a better place. And so teachers can learn more by visiting www.youngscientistlab.com or even just visiting the Young Scientist Lab channel within DEX. And my dream would be to see students from the Young Women's Academy or across the borderland really representing our city in these competitions like the America's Top Young Scientist Challenge. But really, there are so many huge partnerships out there. Corporations are really looking to fill their jobs within these STEM careers. So really creating this curriculum and connecting the careers within our own classrooms is really that special mix that we need to ensure that our students are successful across the board. So, where do teachers go? I would also encourage teachers to connect with these wonderful I.T.S that are here hosting. They really are in the know about all the things that are available within EPISD across the borderland and really across the US. And as always, you're always welcome to connect with me if you'd want to learn more. So thanks so much for the opportunity. I think I answered the question and more, and I tried to talk really fast.
So Kim, I just
Karen.
wanted to jump in real quick because you had shared the link when they had started the live presentations from that 3M challenge last week. And I got to see the full first presentation and maybe a little bit of the next one, but they were so impressive. And there's no way in the world that as a high school, middle school student that I would have had even any of those ideas going through my head for the solutions that they were coming up with for their projects. And so it's really crazy how smart and intelligent our kids are, because I know I'm not that, at the age that I'm at, I'm not even close to what they have going on and what they're considering and how they're supposed to, how they plan on helping the environment in the future and all of their solutions. It was so impressive. And I wish I had time to sit through and watch every single one of those. They were awesome.
Well, and I think, as educators, we plant that seed, right? We're that guide. So, but yes, thanks so much for sharing, Julie.
And that's what I was going to say is it's so important to share these opportunities with our students, because imagine if no one had shared this opportunity with that student that you saw, Julie, or those students just in general, that there are these opportunities for them and they have so much to share and contribute to our world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. And, I think all we need to do is, like Diane and Veronica have said, we have to show students the possibilities that are out there for them, right? Give them those opportunities.
So I think Sharita, were you, was Dr. O back with us?
Yes, she was, but it looks like she got kicked off again. She is keep dropping. But at any rate, I was going to ask her to just share with us how Young Women's Academy has influenced the young ladies to continue, their professional ambitions in the STEAM area. I can say a little bit about that because I witnessed at their championship volleyball game, which their team was made up of many seniors, and this happens to be their first graduating class, and so they honored the seniors, and each one would share what they plan to do and study in college. And there were so many talking about different areas in STEAM. And so I know that campus has definitely influenced. And there she is. She popped back on. Dr. O, can you hear and speak? If so, I'll let her if you can hear me, Dr. O, could you share with us how the Young Women's Academy has influenced the young ladies to continue professional ambitions in the STEAM area?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, awesome.
Yay!
Awesome.
I don't know what's going on with Twitter. Twitter world is not being nice to me. It's kicking me out.
Okay. Well, look, I have one last question. If you could answer this for us, please, before hopefully you don't get kicked out. But could you share with us how the Young Women's Academy has influenced those young ladies, in particular, the seniors, because this is your first graduating class, how it has influenced them to continue in their professional ambitions in the STEAM area?
Well, that is a loaded question. I got to say that well, our entire focus on what we do here is of course on STEAM and service learning, and we're 6th through 12th grade. This is our first year with the senior class, our first graduating class, guys. So we're really excited. But I got to tell you, I've been with these girls since they were 6th and 7th grade. So we're going on 6 years for some of them, and so we've created an environment that really is, their home, their second home. Sometimes they're here at school more than they are at home, just because of everything they're involved in. But the exposure to the STEAM, the non-traditional careers, especially supporting our women to embrace who they are and their leadership and building their confidence. And, they present. We have them come in and they sit on the principals committee as well. And I feel like I'm working with colleagues. It's that caliber of student where they're professional, they're mature, they offer ideas, they help to enrich our programs. And so we're developing all those soft skills that they need as a leader. And those are the skills that are going to help them persist in these STEM careers. And that I was able to hear a little bit of Dr. Golding and the programs that she supports. And we're the first high school, I think, to be an affiliate of the Yes She Can. But it is just about empowering women, giving them hands-on experience in engineering, computer science, and taking them to UTEP, bringing the professionals to us, providing internships in careers where they may not have considered, and talking to parents. Parents play a critical role in encouraging their daughters in different directions, and we're here to support our students and make sure that whatever opportunity or whatever they want to do, we try and find those ways to make that happen for them. And we're small enough where we can do that.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. O. And I have had the honor of going through this journey with you. And I remember when those 6th graders first came to that campus and how they have grown. And you must be pretty proud also, because your daughter is also one of the first graduates from the Young Women's Academy.
Yes. Both my daughters attend with me. And, as an educator, you guys know this. You want the best for your child, right? For your own blood. And so the way we see it is that what I want for my daughter, we want for all of my daughters, the 450 of them, because I do see them as my daughters. And that's how we work. That's how we operate. I see it as what I want for my own, I want for anyone else to be able to enjoy and experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank all of you so much for being here with us today. And I'm going to just toss it back over to Jesus and let him wrap this up.
Amazing conversation here. The amount of resources that we have heard about. I hope you guys can share those with us. We'd love to put those on our website, on our blog, so that everybody has access to this, because we will be sharing this recording up on our website, and I'll give you that information here in a bit. We hope that we can also invite you back to the show, because we want to continue this conversation of getting our young ladies involved in the fields of STEM, of STEAM, and just seeing what's out there and giving them that choice. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to go that route, but at least they'll know about it. Like Diane said, they'll know about it, and then they can make that choice. But if they don't know, then they don't know what they're missing out on and what career change they might want to make, and it might be too late, right? So we want to make sure they have that information and those opportunities so that they can decide if STEAM, STEM is a path that they want to follow. Okay, so we have one last segment before we leave. Laura loves talking about this. We always talk about the new virtual learning opportunities for both students and educators. And it's a short month, obviously, because of the Thanksgiving break that's coming up, but we do have some opportunities. And Laura, do you want to just talk about a few really quick?
Sure, Jesus. So you can head over to tinyurl.com/EPISD TIL home. and hover over the events tab. And if you click on virtual field trips, you'll find some amazing opportunities for the month of November. I'm just going to name a couple that were my favorites as I scrolled through some of these. So through Microsoft Flip, you'll find one on November 17th called Marvelous Manatees of Moat Aquarium. So who does not want to swim with manatees? I would love to swim with manatees. You can do that through a virtual field trip with Flip this month. There's also a Q&A session through Flip with the I Survived author, Lauren Tarshis, and we all know that our students love to read those I Survived books, so you can do a Q&A session with that author on November 10th. Discovery Education also has a session coming up on November 9th called What Can You Learn from a Polar Bear? So, I mean, who just doesn't want to give a big hug to a polar bear? I don't think you probably want to, but you can meet one through Discovery Education coming up on November 9th. Connect to Texas also has some great opportunities coming up through the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and Apple Professional Learning has some good sessions coming up for teachers as well. So I would encourage you to check all these out on our website again at tinyurl.com/EPISD-TIL home and check them out on the events tab under virtual field trips.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Laura. Once again, a big thanks to our amazing guests, Kimberly, Diane, Cynthia, Veronica. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you
thank
for
you,
having
everybody.
us.
All right. And we are also glad that, again, we have so many opportunities for our girls to participate in STEAM and STEM. We need to continue working together and to get the word out. So please feel free to contact us. Give us your events. Let us know when they're happening. We love to broadcast this to all of our students at EPISD. As always, I also want to give a big thanks to our listeners for tuning into our show. If you'd like to leave an audio comment or question, head on over to our website's blog page at tinyurl.com/EPISD-TIL home. And while you're there, you can access all the recordings as well as the blog post and the resources that we will be sharing with you guys. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at EPISD_ITS and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at EPISD Tech and Learn. This has been another episode of the It's Talk Time podcast, a production of the Technology Integration and Learning team, which is a part of the Digital Learning and Resources Department here at EPISD. And Julie, I'd like for you to give out our quote for the day, please.
So today's quote is very appropriate, and it's something we want to make sure that we always keep in mind because we don't want to inhibit any of our students' creativity or curiosities along the way. So this is a quote from Mae Jemison, who was the first African-American woman astronaut in space. And the quote is, "Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live."
That is a beautiful quote. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your much-deserved weekend. See you next time on another episode of the It's Talk Time podcast. Adios.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.